Hello, my friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. I feel like my makeup brain has been in the underrated makeup realm for a little while here. I actually just did a video, a shorter video on underrated complexion products and put together a little routine with those. And I feel like just as I've been using my makeup, I have that thought in my mind. And so today I wanted to center a whole video around this idea. And it's really long time products, things that have been in the makeup world for quite some time that deserve more hype. They really deserve more buzz. They're great products. The only thing working against them is their age. You know, the fact that they have been out for a long time. And I think brands know that this happens. I think it's true that many of us are looking for the latest and greatest. And that idea of the latest, you know, like something new is gonna be better. The desire to try something fresh. And that's why I think we see products get discontinued a lot. And we see products kind of get reinvented, you know? And this is the type of video that could be done several times over. I mean, I'm just one face here, so I'm picking one product per step, obviously, but I just know I'm going to continue to have a lot of thoughts about this topic just as I'm in my downtime and just considering the beauty landscape like I do. I could do more of this. But here's where we're going to start today, a foundation, and this was the foundation that I featured in my little short video. It's the Neutrogena Healthy Skin. This stuff is great, and I feel like for right now, the makeup aesthetic that a lot of people are after, this is so perfect. Could they improve their shade range? Yes. Could they specifically improve the shade offerings that are sold in store? Because you might look online and find more and you're like, oh, they make more shades of this, but then you get in a store and it's just never well stocked. But I wear the shade Buff in this stuff, and the formula is so nice for being that medium coverage, just the right level of moisture in it. It's so sneaky. It looks like you have really good skin, just like the name implies, healthy skin. It does contain SPF 20. She's been around for a long time, but it's a truly great product. Could she use a pump? Absolutely. If they threw a pump on this thing, I would support that change. Pump, shade range availability. Other than that, do not change the formula here, Neutrogena. This is a terrific product and it wears surprisingly well too. That's another thing. I'm always a little surprised at the staying power on this one because it's not in the claims. It doesn't set itself up to be something that's going to wear like iron, but it really does look good all day. Blending this in. See the look on the skin? No primer, no special step before this other than my skincare. They just hit such a sweet spot for the look of hydrated skin and the feel of that hydration without making it too heavy. And like I said, medium coverage. Anytime I put this on after not using it for a while, I'm like, yes, they really got it right with this. But because she's not new, she's not getting talked about much. Where are my hardcore lovers of this product at? It is so good. And Neutrogena honestly has a handful of good coverage products in their line. I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm going old here. The CoverGirl Smoothers Concealer Stick. Now, this is a product that I feel is an old product. I know they've had the Smoothers range since I would have started makeup in junior high. I feel they have made it even smoother than it once was. But this stick covers so nicely. It's so easy. It does look like a lipstick. They're really not changing the original concept too much here, but I wear this in the shade Light, and it's another one of those where, you know, you use a lot of the latest and greatest concealers, and then you hop back to it and you're like, you know, this was fine. More than fine. It covers really, really well, as you're gonna see. It smooths on so easily. There's something about the glide, the ease of a stick concealer that I love. But I'm gonna take my little e.l.f. Duo brush. I could have used this for the first step and just blended my foundation with that, but I just didn't happen to grab it. But taking the small side and I'm just moving that around. Look, anybody who's like normal to dry, I think would love the combination of the Neutrogena Healthy Skin, which I do feel that foundation formula could work for a lot of skin types, but pair that with this concealer if you're a little more dry, and I feel like you would love it. Look at this. The ease of blending, like it's almost fully blended with this step, and I don't even intend to fully blend it when I'm using this small side. Like that shade on me, the brightening that it's able to give, I take my larger in and I just tap over it. Like content creators need to dig deeper, you know? Dig deeper. There's so much good stuff. Great combo. Love that. Now, if we're talking loose powders, I almost put Maybelline Fit Me into this category because I feel like as new powders have come out, they've kind of been slowly getting pushed down. Like I thought they were once extremely popular, and they should be popular. They have a lot of different shades, a lot more shades than other lines. You can really hone in on what's best for you. The formula is terrific, but I feel even more this way, kind of like the older product getting snubbed. I feel even more this way about the original Laura Mercier translucent powder. Like this stuff was once the thing, and I feel like everything came in kind of trying to do what this does, and they almost got copied out of their game. You know what I mean? Even in Laura Mercier's own line, like I would have to say, if it's down to this or the Ultra Blur, the kind with the light colored cap that's talc free, I would probably grab the Ultra Blur just because I feel like it's a little finer and just even more sneaky on the skin. But still, when I go back to this, I rotate back to this a lot just on a regular makeup using day, and I'm like, that stuff is so good. Like there is a reason why this got a cult following, but who's really talking about this now? Who's buzzing about this one? I don't know, but we're gonna use it today. By the way, I'm trying a new coffee creamer today. I got the Coffee Mate birthday cake. I maybe just don't put enough creamer in ever for me to really taste it in a major way. But I thought if all else fails, it's just probably gonna taste like vanilla, you know? And that's kind of what I'm getting. Anyways, tapping this in with my little powder puff. Always smoothing, always adding a little something extra, you know? And I love that when a powder just not only takes down shine, but gives you just a little more than you thought you were going to come away with. That's the definition of this powder for me. But it's like Laura Mercier could see that this one was getting old, and they made new versions. Like they're trying to keep people within their line. So they've got the Ultra Blur, and they've got like the pinky tone one and stuff. But that doesn't make this one any less iconic, and it can still hang with all the new stuff. As I move it around on my skin, I love this step. You might think, what is bringing a bare brush and kind of like blending the powder more gonna really do? But it takes that powder to its like final resting place for the day on my skin, and it moves it around and it shears it out and it blends it out. And you're telling me that didn't do something extra for my under eye? Right there, and having it around my T-zone, that's gonna improve my staying power there. So good, and should be thanked. Because if you've got any more recent powder that you love, I feel like this was probably an inspiration type of powder for that thing. Okay, here's another one. e.l.f.'s Contour Palette. I pulled this in more recently. I think I was doing my Dollar General video because this is actually one of the e.l.f. products that you can find at Dollar General. But this little thing has been around for quite some time. Very good quality product here. The idea that you can have something that looks more like contour, more like bronzer, something that could be either a tone it down kind of powder or all over powder even, kind of like translucent powder. And then you've got an actual like highlighter built into that. But with soft pearl, not too much pearl, it's great. I'm gonna take like a little blend. I'm always tapping between these two when I get this thing out. And I'm gonna work this around my hairline. And you know e.l.f., they're always moving and shaking. They're always creating new. But this is a truly excellent product. And the formula, when you tap into that, like it's soft. There is a real softness there. And I would say it's a good product for the hard to please, especially in tone, if you're hard to please on tones of bronzer or contour, because it lets you bounce between the shades and you can really get it just how you want it. Getting that around my hairline, I'm gonna go just into the deeper one now and chisel my cheekbones a little bit. But you see how I was able to like make it a little warmer, make it a little sunnier up on the forehead with the mixture? But extremely smooth powder formula. Deserves more love. Like, why not? It's just older, you know, it's just been around longer. She's just not as new and exciting anymore, but she's still good and still a workhorse. I really like that Dollar General video, by the way. if you only had Dollar General to work with, like putting together the full face. I really try not to get too hung up on, oh, this video got a lot of views or this video didn't get that many, because they're all like my babies and I love them all and I'm rooting for them all. But I feel like lately I've put some stuff out that I thought is as good as anything I've ever done. The creativity or just the idea behind it was good and the execution was good. Like, it just wasn't seen. Maybe I'm relating to the whole concept of this video. Long-time creators. Oh, the comment I received on TikTok. I'm sorry, YouTube. Y'all are the ones I vent to about my reactions on TikTok. But I had a comment the other day that was like literally shocked that I still walk the face of this earth. I'm not going to be able to find it. You're still around? Like, and my response was, yeah. I'm not dead and I've never stopped making videos. Thank you. That is just using the like bronzing shades. And like I said, use it like all-purpose powder. Use it to adjust tones if you want to. I'm coming in with a different highlighter, otherwise I would pop some more of that on, but yes, that's what I have to say about that. There are creators out there who literally blaze the trail for what's happening now. There are a lot still doing it, like a couple that come to mind just right now. Makeup by Tiffany D. Raise your hand, Tiffany D. Raise your hand, Sabrina. You know, like, we're still here. For blush, lots of different directions you could go. I could do this video many times over. I could create a video on things that I feel are blushes that have kind of gotten ignored or deserve more hype. But do you remember when MAC blushes, like, it was a whole thing to have your wardrobe of MAC blushes, maybe have them in the pans in their own full palette that you created? Yeah, MAC blushes, right? Just the classic ones. I'm bringing one into this video. This is Mocha. She's matte. Mocha doesn't look like she's gonna give you much of anything, but I can tell you she will. I'm gonna go into that with my e.l.f. blush brush, start blending it in. Behold the kind of unexpected rosiness that's coming out of that. Always, like, makes you kind of say, did you just do that? Yes, she did. MAC blushes. Kind of remember the name. What was the one that was super popular and it was like really bright pink? I think it might have been my first ever MAC blush that I got. It was like a magenta kind of pink. Just tell me in the comments section if you're still using a MAC blush daily. Tell me if you do and what's the shade. But this is Mocha and I know she's been around for ages. And pretty! Like, look at that. I get that if you're opening that, you're walking past that in your store, it's maybe not grabbing a lot of people, but she really looks good. Try it out. And then here's a brand I never hear about anymore. For a time, I feel like they were pretty hot, but I just don't catch any buzz on this brand. And hold on, I'm gonna pull them up on Ulta so I can see some of the other things that are currently available, because I'm kind of kicking myself on this brand a little bit. I'm right in there with overlooking them. Okay, yeah, they do have some good looking like mixed palettes and stuff, but I'm talking about Ofra. I'm talking about Ofra, and I have this cute little highlighter palette. It's called the Signature Palette. Yes, they still sell this. Isn't there a kind of similar looking highlighter palette from Dior? They've got like these mini mixed face palettes that incorporate various face tones, and you know how I love a multitasking palette. They've got several that look absolutely like things I would love. Unconditional mini mixed face palettes, got like a bunch of eyeshadows and face colors, but singular highlighters as well. And really, really strong highlighters. Like in the era when, you know, everybody just felt they needed a highlighter that was ready to blast off to the moon. I'm gonna take this pinky one here. She's calling my name with Real Techniques setting brush. Like, look, she does a lot. But I don't reach for this much. I don't think about this brand much at all. And I think about makeup a lot. But what about Ofra? From that era of, we need a blinding highlighter. But I can tell, still seems to have a lot of products that I really want to investigate. Like little Cotton Candy Skies little blush palette, some of the larger palettes like I said. Yeah, what's going on there? The pigment is really unreal. I'm treating this carefully. What about some of this like on the Cupid's bow? I mean, clearly they're still in business. I think I've overlooked Ofra for long enough because they know what they're doing. Some of these I'm definitely calling myself out. For brow products, gang, I don't even know. Like, I was looking through my stuff. I've been thinking about brow stuff. If I had it, what I would use is a Brow Wiz, because I feel like they started the skinny brow pencil game. Everybody copied, and now everybody's got their drugstore favorites, you know. I feel they got the ball rolling on skinny stuff, but let's pretend this is Brow Wiz. This is Benefit Precisely my brow pencil, which is maybe kind of in a similar place. You know, a higher end skinny pencil, and then the drugstore came in and every brand made one. I just don't have a strong feeling about underrated brows. I know what my friend David would say. Probably those little Maybelline red pencils sold in the duo pack that he likes to multitask with. Like, he's taking the blonde one or the taupe one and using it for lips, and I think that's really cool. So maybe we'll say that officially. Had a good old-fashioned homemade taco night last night. Since when does it always have to be Tuesday? I made them on Wednesday. I told the girls, like, before they went to school, like, I'm planning to have tacos tonight. And they go, but it's not Tuesday. When did Tuesday get to claim tacos? I know it's catchy, but you can eat tacos anytime. And I'm like, okay. I got the hard shells, baked them so they're nice and fresh and crisp. Had my ground beef, which has been kind of a meal prep staple this week. You can make your taco potatoes. I've also been eating it as like a little healthy bowl with some broccoli and sweet potatoes that I roasted. Just a little broccoli, sweet potato, ground beef, maybe a small dollop of some sour cream with that. Very good combo. But yeah, we had Taco Wednesday. It was good. Okay, brows are filled, and then for a gel, I mean, this is just me saying I don't think anyone in the world is going to love this stuff as much as I do. The Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt Express Brow. I know there's people out there who must love this, but people should be loving this more. Like, people should be recognizing how special the brush is and how you've got some short bristles and some longer bristles, and the longer bristles don't have as much product, and the hold is amazing, and the pigment is amazing, and the shorter bristles can deposit more on if you want to, and it could be a one and done brow product if you want it to do that. Does anybody else get that? The worth of this product? Like, this is an example of the type of product on the market. Let's say Benefit Gimme Brow was one of the first that I can remember of doing this tinted brow gel thing. And then Maybelline didn't just go out and copycat that idea. They truly made an improvement on it with the way they're doing the brush and the way the formula has so much hold, you know? I'm gonna start doing my eyes. I'm just gonna throw on some eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna use Milani eyeshadow primer today. And really, it was the eyeshadow that was my first thought with this video, because I was sitting around thinking about Clinique eyeshadow. And with some of the things that I mentioned in this video, it was like maybe at one time the product got a lot more hype. Let's say Laura Mercier loose powder. At one time there was a lot of buzz, and then the buzz kind of dropped off. I feel like Clinique eyeshadow has never had the buzz it deserves. I believe there are people who love the brand Clinique who will just shop that brand, who are makeup counter people, old school people, and they want to just stick with their brand. When they're thinking about what makeup they're going to buy, they just stick with Clinique, and that's keeping their eyeshadow in business. But Clinique's eyeshadow is so good. They have not only nailed doing a good formula, really great pigment, blendable, everything you want in the experience of using the eyeshadow, but they've also nailed it on giving you something really small and user-friendly, but at the same time giving us some compact palettes as well for choices. I love this Best of Black Honey. When I was traveling for the weekend, this is such an urge to take this for travel. I love the plummy brownness of it all. They're doing quads too. They're a brand where, as much as I've tried, because I've got like probably 6 different duos sitting here, as much as I have used, they've still got me wanting more. Like, they're so good. They're such a diamond in the rough. Today I'm going to use my absolute fave, which is Day Into Date, this little duo. Compacts still have little applicators and little mirrors. Keep going, Clinique. Never take this stuff away. I'm going to take the darker shade in here, which really is kind of like plummy brown. And I'm starting with my Morphe M303. I normally, you see me take off with the crease brush, but we got 2 shades here, and one is a good deal darker than the other. And so I'm starting with that. And this is just a real easy way to go about this duo. So I was patting it on the lid, I flip my brush, I'm getting it up into the crease, and then we'll bring in a fluffier brush to help that blend out. Yeah, I just feel like these have never gotten the love they deserve. Such high pigment, good quality, great concepts. Holding on to shades for a long time, not giving them the boot. You see, I've kind of stamped that on there. It's not looking blended. It's not supposed to look blended yet. Now comes in the crease brush, and now you can soften that shade. Like, this is just a duo. It's not meant to be complicated. I'm not going to overcomplicate this look, but look, the blend. You're just going to go over that shadow. I'm going pretty much straight into my crease, but I'll start to, you know, blend a little bit higher too. You're just blending over that shade and softening it. It's like the process of applying a stick concealer. You just swipe it where you want it to go, and then you blend it out. You don't have to be super good at this. Place the shade where you want it, blend over it. Looking good, looking blended. Then take your sponge tip. You got this kind of murky shade here. How would I explain this shade? It's kind of like a soft, cool beige, and it's pigmented as well, but I would pat that over inner lid and let it overlap with the outer lid. We're watching Gilmore Girls again. We just kind of got it on in the evening. I feel like we're not watching it as much on the edge of our seats as we were the first time, me and the girls. But we're at that point where Jess is in the mix. Rory's still with Dean. And even though Rory and Dean, you know, they're so cute together, I guess, technically. But that pairing never really made me think, yeah, that's a forever combo. But the actor who's playing Jess, and he went on and did... What was the show? Played by Milo Ventimiglia, okay? He went on and in his adult career got popular for This Is Us. I had to do a little Googling there, but we got it. See what we're doing there on that eyeshadow? Very good, very easy. Don't overcomplicate. Taking my small pointed brush, and I'm gonna use a little bit of the deeper shade on my lower lash line though, okay? Boop, just go straight into it. But the way Jess looks at Rory, like, there I'm done. Like, I'm just kind of convinced those two are just the best pair. The actor nailed it. The combo of being so, like, too cool for school, but yet this undeniable, when he looks at her, you feel it. That's what I take from that. Okay, whatever happened to cream and gel liners in the little pots? And the leader of that genre, which I believe was Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown with their Longwear gel eyeliner, this black ink shade. I know why we're not wearing it. We can't find our tiny little pencils. There it is. My Real Techniques teeny tiny little brush, although I know Bobbi Brown has a nice brush that can be used for stuff like this too, but it's gonna be super pigmented. It's going to go on making you feel like you've got a little more control than you do with a liquid liner. Okay, so there's that. It's going to be long wearing. Why'd we all step away from these? And who's still committed to these? Because I'm calling myself out just as much because I've definitely stepped away. But I did a big declutter of eyeliners and stuff. But what stayed, because this isn't very old actually in my collection, what stayed was this one, and then I had a smaller one that's kind of like a brownish bronzy shimmer. The Bobbi Brown ones stayed, and these just don't seem to have the tendency of drying out like some of the others. But you remember when it was like everyone was using this format of eyeliner? And I get it, you know, preferences change. You want something smudgier, smokier. It feels fussy maybe to have to pull out a brush when you could just use a stick or a built-in applicator. But it still does a really good job. I'm just using it there on like 2/3 of my upper lash line. But you know, the way Dean looks at Rory, it's kind of like, you know, he's got that puppy dog energy, and Jess is more like the black cat. I am curling my lashes, and all is revealed when Dean and Jess get in the same space together. The snarkiness between them reveals all about how Jess totally has feelings for Rory. Okay, mascara. Shoot, I didn't pick a mascara. This is what I get for not having old mascaras on hand, but this one, remember the CoverGirl Professional Super Thick Lash? This was in a video not too long ago. This is an oldie. But I don't know that this deserves more love because I'm not wowed by her performance right now. She's just simply old. I think mascara technology keeps improving for the better. The thing that I feel like sometimes they're getting wrong about mascaras is cleaning off the brush too much. When it comes out of the tube, there's not enough product on the bristles. Other than that, it's like Maybelline Great Lash. I never liked that stuff. It's old and I don't like it. Like, it's never been a big performer for me. CoverGirl, we'll just let this stand in the name of all CoverGirl older mascaras that remind me of my early makeup using days, because I did like them. But this is leaving me wanting more on my lashes right now. A lot more. See, there's one coat, and yeah, they're looking a little thicker and darker, but I want more length out of it. So I'm going to take a new school CoverGirl mascara that can help out a little bit more. This is the Exhibitionist Stretch and Strengthen. This one comes out with a ton of gunk on it. I know that's going to build. There's some thickness, maybe not even all the separation I'm wanting. I want it all with a mascara, okay? Is that so wrong? I want it to do everything. I want it to separate. I want it to take those individual lashes, and I want it to thicken them up. I want it to lengthen them out. I want it to hold the curl. At least one of these lashes on my left eye is having lift off right now, like really thick. But yeah, mascara technology has come a long way. The idea of a tubing mascara is something that can easily be removed but still last all day. You know, that's brilliant. Speaking of, I'm going to put e.l.f. Lash Extender on my lower lashes. Who stayed loyal to an oldie? If I would have had like Lash Blast on hand, I feel like that was kind of a pioneer mascara when it comes to the rubber bristle brush. Finally, for lips, I got to thinking about tinted lip balms and how I feel like we have loads of balmy products, lots of squeeze tube products, lots of treatment plus color combination products. And it took me back to a type of tinted lip balm that was around a long time ago. Like, even at the time when Bonnie Bell was doing their whole like Bonnie Bell makeup range with the Lip Licks products that were like tinted balms with a lot of flavors and stuff like that. Even at that time, there was something else that was around, and it was the Burt's Bees Lip Shimmer, the skinny little sticks of Burt's Bees. And these are still dope, okay? These are still really good. Cooling sensation, feeling good on the lips, looking good. I don't know what color I want to even wear today. I'm going to try on some of this watermelon. I haven't worn it in a bit. But I got into these again like fairly recently. They are shimmery. The tint is good. I feel like for people who are kind of getting back on the frosty lip train, you know, you might be wanting to try these again. Look, there's watermelon. It feels cooling, feels like buxom. Isn't it more color than you were thinking you were going to see? Like a full coverage but glowy lip. I'm just staying there. I was prepared to mix and blend, but I like that shade called watermelon as is. I'm going to re-curl my lashes with my finger. I also like these kinds of balms from Burt's Bees too, if you're not into the shimmer. Like, I've gotten back into just their tinted balms. They've got like those minis you'll sometimes find in special collections. Those are awesome if you want to keep a few shades in your purse, not just one. But yeah, there's my finished look today, friends. Very everyday friendly, but loaded with great stuff. Products, again, that just kind of, the hype has worn off. The shine has worn off of these products, but they're still amazing. And I would like to know who is currently using these things a lot. But you know, the beauty community environment, what it leads us to do is watching for information on what's new. And I think that's a good and positive thing. But it doesn't mean some of the older stuff needs to get left behind. If anything, they need to stay part of the conversation so comparisons can truly be accurate. Like, I'm going to keep my thoughts on this one with every passing new foundation type of thing or skin tint that I see come out. I'm going to be thinking about this and just trying to keep the older things more front of mind as I try newer things, because a lot of new is the reinvention of something that came before it, you know? Just a fresh new packaging design, a fresh new take, but I know we can find lots of similarities. So anyways, thank you guys for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.